Hey there, today we are making one of my favorite party appetizers, and I think you're going to love it too. It's vegan 7-layer dip. It's that Mexican dip with all those amazing layers. I love taking this to parties because it's creamy, it's zesty, it's got different textures and different flavors that all go perfectly with tortilla chips and plenty of other ways to share it too. So, this is one of my favorite things to take to a party. It disappears fast and it never lasts very long at our house either. So even when I make it just for us, it's not one of those dishes that hangs around very long because it's so good. So I'm excited to share with you. And I also have a really fun party story to tell you about this dip in just a minute. But first, let's get to the ingredients. You only need seven, and it's super easy to bring this together. I'm going to show you some of my favorite tricks to make it even faster. So it starts with well, the very base layer is refried beans, and this is just from a can. What I did is I put it in a bowl and I heated it up for a few seconds just to make it nice and smooth so that it spreads a little bit easier. So I obviously get the vegetarian refried beans. You can also do fat-free. Those are nice too. Or you can even make your own. I have a recipe on the site for basically refried black beans that you could use. That just really works as the base. This is the part that people love to dip their chip into. So getting a nice creamy layer is perfect to start with. Okay, that's that. The next layer is gonna be vegan cheddar shreds. What I have here is obviously the Daya cheddar shreds, and it's just around a cup and a half to 2 cups. I like to generously spread it around. You can use different kinds of cheddar or vegan shreds, different flavors. I know they have a great Mexican blend now that has different types of cheeses all included together. I really like the cheddar just because it's got that nice bright color that really balances it well. Now the next layer is one of my favorites, and I'm going to talk to you about how I did it. Oops. This is basically what I have here is vegan cheddar shreds, or no, did I say cheddar shreds? I already did cheddar shreds. I'm repeating myself. Beef crumbles. I'm using Beyond Beef crumbles. These are actually already Fiesta flavored, but if you have just the plain ones, you can simply add some taco seasoning to it, like a tablespoon or two of taco seasoning to veggie crumbles works perfectly. I like to just cook it up in a skillet for a couple of minutes. Just first of all, it's frozen, so we want to get it not frozen. But also when you cook it up in a skillet, it kind of gives it some crispy edges. I add just a little bit of olive oil to that just to help encourage the browning. And yeah, it's really nice when you can use. That's one of my favorite tips to make this faster is if you can go ahead and buy the the ground crumbles that are already flavored. That's just one less step. Okay, so I just put it on top, and I'll just use my spatula to kind of spread it out because I like to show off the layers, so I don't spread it all the way out, but I do like to try to get it out as far as possible so that when people dip in this, we want to have it have you know, equal layers. Let's say it that way. Okay, so the next is, you can make up these layers however you want. I'm going to go with salsa next. And you can see what I did is I poured about a cup of salsa into this fine mesh strainer over a bowl to let some of that extra liquid come out because, nobody wants a liquidy, we don't want any liquidy dip. It'll make your dip all soggy, and that's not good. So just kind of spread it out a little bit and try to spread it across. Again, you can change up these layers however you want. And then next is going to come guacamole. You can use this guacamole. I made this homemade from a couple of avocados, but you can definitely use store-bought avocado or guacamole. There's plenty of really good store brands. Costco has several that are really delicious. So, but this is just a couple of avocados with some lime juice and a little bit of garlic and a little bit of salt and pepper, just to keep it super simple. So here I'm going to spread this out a little bit. So that again just gets spread out, and you can see that I'm kind of got these concentric circles going on where the we're not going out as far again because I want to show off these layers. It feels very important to me that people see all the fun layers that are in here. But at the same time, I want to get it spread out to the edges a little bit. Okay. And then next comes sour cream. I'm using vegan sour cream, and just going to pour that on the top. Here we go. This is around a cup of sour cream. I have plenty of, there are so many vegan sour creams this day. I feel like when I go to Sprouts, it's like, there's like 5 different options. It's pretty amazing. Never used to be like that. And then you can just kind of mix and match whatever fresh toppings you want on top. Like, I like adding some chopped cherry tomatoes. I also have some chopped green onions. I think that goes really nicely on top. You know, everybody likes a little bit of flavor. If you don't have green onion, I think you could get by with regular onion. I would just like chop it up real finely so that it doesn't have this overwhelming flavor. That's one thing we like about green onions is it's softer flavor. And then black olives. Sorry, honey. My husband's giving me the eye because, you know, some people just are not into the black olives, but I tell you, they really do add a pop of color that's very nice. I personally love them. And then I'll add these cherry tomatoes on top just because, you know, it just looks so beautiful. I think when you have these beautiful tomatoes on top. And we're just, you know, as you can see, we've just built these layers one by one, and this dip comes together so fast that I think it's just perfect to take this to a party because look at this, you're ready to go. You're ready to serve this and have people just exclaim about how amazing this is. And then talking about people exclaiming, like talking about how great this recipe is, I have to tell you my story. That is, I took this dip to a party once, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, I feel really sad for you. I'm like, well, John, why do you feel sad for me? I don't get it. He said, I feel sad for you that you don't get to have this amazing dip. He did not know that I was the one that brought it. So, of course, I had to remind him that. I had to say, guess what? I'm the one that brought that dip. That is actually vegan. He was shocked. He's a foodie kind of guy, and he was shocked because it tasted so good. And he literally came up to me and said, I feel sorry for you that you don't get to eat this. Do you blame him? I mean, when you see something like this, wouldn't you feel bad for somebody? You think, "Oh, poor Marley, she can't have this because it's not vegan," and it is. I love recipes like that. I love having situations like that happen where I bring something to a party and people are like, "Oh, you can't have that. That's not vegan." Well, yeah, it is. So that's what this is today. And I realize you might have some questions like, "Is this gluten free?" It is absolutely gluten free, especially if you use the crumbles that are gluten free. You might want to also know, can you make this ahead of time? And actually, you can. What I would probably do is have the layers ready and then throw it together. This will last in the fridge for a couple of days, but that guacamole will start to turn brown very quickly. So I like to just throw the layers together right before I go to a party, and that way it comes that the way. That's my version of make ahead, is maybe have the bottom, all the layers, all the ingredients ready, and then throw it together before you leave. Um, I was going to talk to you about serving options too, because obviously it's a very good dip to serve with tortilla chips. But I also like serving it. It sounds crazy. We can add some of this to burritos. We also, I have plenty of soft tacos, and I love like those soft tortillas and putting that on there like a tortilla, like a taco. So good. It's just very filling dip that I love having around just for that very reason because it's so good. Yeah. So you can experiment with whatever layers you want. Like I've often thought that adding a little bit of sriracha would be really nice if you know people like it spicy, or just serving that on the side for people to drizzle it on their own individual toppings. And also, I have seen that you can make this in a little party cups. So, you know, like those big clear plastic cups, and they make them in little half cups, and you can make these in individual little plastic cups. And as a result, people, when they come to your party, they can grab a cup, grab some chips, and go and and walk off to wherever they're going. So it's kind of nice to have some different options of ways to serve it. So now it comes down to my favorite part, and that is I'm going to do a taste test. So I'm going to put this down. It's kind of heavy. Okay, try to get one with all the layers on it. I'm going to throw this on top here, and tomato. This is going to happen. Okay, here we go. Look at that. That is definitely a bite to remember. mm. So good. I love that. I love the flavor of the cheese, the crunchy tortilla. I get that onion. I love that I pre-cooked that vegan taco meat because it has a crispiness to it and a little bit of warmth. So you've got these cold layers and the warmth of that the vegan taco meat all combining together. Wow, that is amazing. An amazing bite, an amazing appetizer. I highly recommend this dish. I would love to hear from you. What are the layers that you're going to add to yours? Would you add tomatoes and black olives like I did, or do you have some other favorite toppings you might be considering adding to this dip? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. And as always, thanks for joining me. I hope if you liked today's recipe, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week.